Good morning, good morning. We got people coming in, so I'm gonna make sure everyone gets in before I get started today. I'll probably start about 10:30, 10:31. We'll just see how people are coming in. I hope you guys had a wonderful break and enjoyed time off away from school, hopefully. So a couple more minutes. I just want to let you guys know if you do put anything in the chat, it should only go to me. Malik, can you do me a favor? Can you type hi and just see if anyone else sees it? Okay. Can anyone else see that? I'm pretty sure I have the chat shut off. He didn't message me hi. Can anyone jump in and say that they see it or not? I'm pretty sure it's privately. Okay. So if you do chat through any of our Zooms, I just want to make sure the settings updated for when we start this semester. If you do chat at all to me or in the chat, it's only going to be seen by me. So I want to make sure that you guys do know that. So if you guys feel more comfortable, you guys are always more than welcome to also unmute yourself. Like I have no problem, jump in if you have a question or you just want to ask something or comment on something, you're more than welcome to just jump in at any time, unmute yourself. There's no problem with that. So I still have some people coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and again, let them all kind of jump in before I get started for the day. While we're still letting them in, I will share with you kind of my agenda for the day. So you guys can see that. And as I do that, it messes up my screen over here though. So kind of looking at the agenda, most of you guys have had from first semester. I do have a couple new students. So if you're a new student and you guys have more questions, feel free to stay on at the end if you want to go through Edgenuity a little bit more. Some of the stuff, things changed throughout the semester. So maybe you didn't go to all the Zoom meetings or watch them. And so you kind of missed out on some of the things that you could have been doing, because obviously the beginning of first semester, it was kind of chaotic, kind of crazy. So I'll kind of give you a quick rundown of all of that. Some of you guys might be having problems getting onto Edge. If you are, make sure you let me know. Also at this time, I want you to make sure that you type in your first and last name if you can into the chat so that I can take attendance based on this in case you don't log into Edgenuity today. So I will use this as part of my attendance today. So just in the chat, just type your first and last name and I'll make sure. Actually, if you could really, which would really help me, put the period that you're in. So whether you're period 1, 2, or 3, so I can mark that with our attendance. So just go ahead, first and last name, period. If you already typed it in without the period, that's okay. I'll go back and I'll search it. Or yeah, you could just put period, whatever, because it's automatically going to connect to your name. If you're, because you should be signed in through CNUSD. If you don't know me, I'm Mrs. Acevedo. So I teach at my primary school is Centennial High School. So I've been teaching, this is my 16th year of teaching math. And I've been teaching pre-cal for the past 10 years. So this is kind of my realm of pre-calculus, is like one of my favorite subjects. So I'm very familiar with the content. So if you guys have questions, I can hopefully help. The way Edgenuity does things is sometimes different than the way that I would do it. So I'll go into that in a second, but just a little bit more about myself. I graduated from Norco High School way back in the day. So I've been in the district my entire life. I've been in Corona Norco School District. I graduated from UCR Riverside with my degree. During my college, I also went to University of Hawaii, which was amazing. And I do have my master's in education. I also have 2 kids. They are 9 and 10 years old. So they're in 4th and 5th grade right now. So they're amazing. And then of course I have my husband and my dog, Kona, who thinks she's another child of mine. She's a lab, but she thinks she's a lap dog, and she's definitely not. So that's just a little bit about myself. Hopefully, I know it's hard to build these relationships over this virtual learning, but hopefully we could at least kind of build some type of relationship. A lot of you guys, I know names, I know a little bit about you, but I still don't know much, and it's kind of a bummer. So let me go ahead. I am going to jump into sharing things about this course. So quick review of where do I find information? How do I find it? So I'm going to go ahead and share another screen with you on all the good, important stuff and where to go. You should hopefully have already signed up, which I think almost everyone has. I went through and checked this morning to see if everyone is signed up for our Google Classroom, and I only had a couple people that were not. So if you haven't, please make sure you do so, and I will share where the codes are with you in 1 second. If you haven't, you could grab them. So this is what the Google Classroom looks like. I kept all first semester information on there, and I have it under a heading off to the side. You can see semester 1. So you don't really need to go back to any of that. It's just there if you want to, but it's going to be organized in the same format. Some of the differences are Zooms I was posting daily. I will post them weekly. I haven't had problems with my Zooms. If I do, then I will start changing them daily. But I kind of did that for security because the passcodes change. So if you go into the Zooms for the week, you can see that this is going to work for each day this week. Zooms will always be at 10:30. If you don't know, I actually do a shared contract. So my contract is for the first half of the day. That's kind of why I defaulted away from the afternoon time. Plus it overlapped with you guys so that it didn't, some of you guys had other classes or other things going on, and it was only a 20-minute period, which I didn't like being in such a time constraint. So I feel like this has worked out better. With that, if you cannot attend a Zoom, I send them out every single day. Some of you guys are like, well, why do I care to watch your Zoom? It's just going to be a general talking and getting to know you kind of thing, what some of the classes are, which is not the case for our class. The Zooms that I do are always going to be based on what the lesson is for the day. And some of you guys, well, what do you mean for the lesson for the day? It does not match with what Edgenuity is always telling you. Most of the time it will, to be honest, most of the time it will, but it does not always match. So how do I know what I should be doing each day in the class? Well, you have a weekly agenda that I put together myself, and I spaced it out a specific way. The reason why I do that is because you guys don't like to have assignments and quizzes on the same day. I know you don't. It's a lot of work. And so I try to space it out so that that doesn't happen. And usually by the end of the week, everything is done that was on the calendar provided by Edgenuity most of the time. So it may not align up exactly on the day-to-day. I don't care about the day-to-day. I'm trying to pace it out for what I think is best for you guys work-wise so that you're not overwhelmed on one day and another day you had nothing. If you choose to not do it on one day and you do it on a different day, that's perfectly fine. That's on you. If you're on Remind, you already got this week at a glance this morning. So today it's just introduction and you just have a warm up. And I have the approximate time that was provided in the pacing through Edgenuity. That is not always necessarily how long it will actually take. A lot of times I hear it takes longer than what they say. So do take that into consideration. So an assignment that's 20 minutes that I put might take you 40 minutes. But those are the things that I go over every day during our Zooms. So if you look tomorrow, we have Law of Science Introduction. So the introduction, you get little questions and for it as you go through. If you're familiar with Edgenuity, again, I have a couple new that are switching to virtual. But what happens in Edgenuity during these videos, you get questions. I go over those questions. Some of the questions that they teach you in the video, I go over myself, and I may not do it differently. You may not like listening to me go over it and you prefer the videos, or you may prefer to listen to me go over it. It just depends on your teaching styles, your learning styles. For the assignment on Wednesday, I will go over problems directly from the assignment. For the quiz on Thursday, I will go over quiz problems. Now the quiz comes from a quiz bank, so maybe you'll see the exact same problem I went over. Maybe you don't, you'll see something similar to it, but I always pick stuff straight from Edgenuity to go over. So know that these videos aren't a waste of your time if you go back and watch them, or if you join us live. If you join us live, then you're able to ask more in-depth questions, but I will always send out the video links every day through Remind. So if you do not have Remind, that is my biggest source of communication. Most of my communication will come out through Remind. I do send emails, but not as often. Again, Remind, it's just quick, hey, you've got this coming up, or your links for the videos or your calendars. So I highly recommend, if you're not on Remind, I have a handful of you guys still not on it, I recommend you get on Remind. So kind of looking, this was all in your Google Classroom that you can access. The other thing that I didn't send out, if you're new this semester, it's the same as first semester, but if you're new this semester, your syllabus is in here. So you can go ahead, you could click on the syllabus. The core syllabus is the same. It's the exact same. I think I told someone last semester that the final was 10%. It was actually going to be, I think it ended up being more around 12% because it's Edgenuity is 80% of this combination shown here. So what your grade is in Edgenuity is not your overall grade. Again, what is an Edgenuity is not your overall grade. That's 80% of your grade. The other 20% comes from participation and turning in your notes. So you are expected to take notes. That is a minimum of 1 page per section or per unit. So sorry, for each section in the unit. So in our first topic, there were 9 different sections. So there's 9 different quizzes, 9 different assignments. For each one of those instructions, you need to have 1 page of notes. Now, what do those notes look like? They can be definitions, they could be examples, they could be the examples that I'm showing you guys on the videos like you guys would in a classroom. That's perfectly fine, but I expect it to be a 1 page minimum. There's also guided notes. If some of you guys liked the guided notes and you want to keep using those, go for it. No problem. That can count for your notes as well. So again, 80% of Edgenuity is your overall grade. So that is not in Q, will always be what your current grade is. What is in Edgenuity is not your current grade. Notes and participation make up the other 20%. So I touched base on notes, but what about that participation? So you also have that participation. Let me make sure I don't have any questions. If you guys have questions as I'm talking, you could put them in the chat. What about though the, sorry, I'm just opening the chat here. What about that participation? So some of you guys had a hard time with participation. So I understand that this course is a self-paced course. However, if you are not staying on pace, that is part of my participation with you, that you will not get full credit. So every Monday, I expect you to have everything that was on that weekly agenda turned in from the previous week. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm going to put in your grade book. I update grades on Mondays. Everything from that previous week that is on that weekly agenda, I will put into the grade book. So the assignments go into the grade book, the quizzes go into the grade book. I do not grade the instruction. That is not part of your grade. So I put it in on Monday. If you have everything completed by Monday, like you should, then I will give you 10 points for participation that week. If you didn't complete everything from that previous week, then I will give you 7. If you are more than 1 week behind, I will give you 5 points participation. It's not based on your grade of what you got, your scores on your assignments. It's literally, have you completed the assignments that I expect you to complete on the calendar? If you're a couple weeks ahead, you don't have to worry about it. You'll always get that 10 points. So if you're ahead, you're going to get 10 points. If you've completed what's on that weekly agenda, you'll get your 10 points. That is an easy 10% to have then. It is 10% then if you could just stay on pace of your overall grade. I kind of do it as a cushion, and it really helps some of you guys, and some of you guys did not take advantage of that last semester. Extra credit's always a big thing. The extra credit, what I did last semester was if you turned your notes in by the due date, then I gave you guys 5 points added to your test score, which I will probably do again this semester if that's kind of something that you guys liked, which I feel like a lot of you guys did. So I will keep doing that. So this is, you could look through the syllabus more if you're not familiar with it. I don't want to spend too much time on that. So let me go ahead and go back to our classroom. The welcome letter, this was emailed out to you. I want to point this out for the fact of it has the classroom codes on it. So if you haven't signed up for something, here are the classroom codes. Period 2, this is an L. not an I or a 1. So that's always a problem. I should have changed it beforehand. Oh, it's actually in this period 3-1 as well. So some people had problems at the beginning of the semester logging in. So it is an L as in love. So please make sure that you get that correct. Let me see, what else do I have for you guys? So notes will be turned into your Google Classroom. You can see first set of notes will be due February 19th. Our first unit is a really large unit. So just be aware of that. This first unit has 9 sections, and then the next unit has, I think, 3 or 4. So it's not very balanced, but there are a lot of formulas. So make sure you I would maybe have a formulas page even if you can. I might actually put in a formula sheet for you guys to access as well. That's on my list. I should make a note. Because there is a lot of formulas. What else, you guys? Okay, if you do not log into Edgenuity, I need to take attendance for you guys. If you log into Edgenuity and you're working on science, but not my class, they will still, the district has said it is okay for you to mark us, for us to mark you here for that day. As long as you signed into Edgenuity, we see that you signed in, then it is okay, because since self-paced, you don't have to work on my class every day. Like I said, everything for the week, I just need it done by Monday. I don't care if you do it all Sunday. That's up to you, what you want to do with your time, but it needs to be done by that Monday. In Edgenuity, for attendance purposes, if you sign in Monday through Friday, then I will mark you present. If you do not sign into Edgenuity, then I need you to do this daily check-in. This has to be done if you do not log into Edgenuity and it is a school day. All you've got to do is you go click on this and a couple questions of like, were you here, or like you need help? I don't know. I forgot even what the questions are. But it's basically just letting me know that you made some type of contact with me. I have records of it and I can mark you present. I don't have to see that you did work in my class every single day. Again, it is semi-self-paced. I say semi because you still have some due dates with me if you want full credit. What else do I have for you guys? So remind, agenda. I send out the agenda every Friday. I try to send it out so if you do want to get ahead for the next week, you can have that on kind of how I'm going to pace it out. Again, our daily Zooms, I will go over quizzes, instruction, and assignments. It's all straight from Edgenuity. And I think that's kind of all I have for you guys. Questions, you can unmute yourself or you can type them in the chat, but any questions on expectations or what's going on with the course? As you guys are typing in questions, I'll log in. This is the student side of Edgenuity. Some things that maybe you guys don't know. Some of the silly things, like some of you guys always just want to go click on next activity here, and that just takes you to wherever you left off. But if I click up here on this blue piece, then I can select where I want to go. So again, you do not have to log, Zooms are not mandatory. So one of the questions talking about Zooms, Zooms are not mandatory. This is for you guys for extra help, support. I do not require them, but if you'd like to join, please join. They're every day at 10:30. I will send out the Zooms through Remind, the recording through Remind. If you would like to watch them at your own time later on in the day, please feel free to do so. For attendance purposes, you must either log into Edgenuity at some point during the day, or you must fill out the class check-in in the Google Classroom, this daily check-in up here, and it's located at the top of your Google Classroom. So again, Zooms are not mandatory. The other thing that I want to point out, so if you're in here, if you are in here on the Edgenuity, you could do your course report. So this will show you what your current grades are for things that you've completed. It will show due dates. Again, these due dates are going to be close to what I have. It may not be exact because I space things out so that you don't have a quiz and assignment the same day for almost the entire semester. I've gone through quite a bit of the semester already and planned it out. And so I try to do that every week so that you guys are not overloaded with stuff. So this kind of gives you just a good little outline. You could pull up your courses. So some of these things you may not have even known that you could do during your first semester. So any other questions? Again, more questions. So today is just the warm up. I would like you guys to do it today. just to kind of get a feel, get back into it tomorrow. So again, tomorrow you will have your instruction and summary video. Wednesday's your assignment. Thursday is going to be your quiz, and then you will start the next section. So again, I try to not give you too much. So on Monday, I will input your law of science assignment, your quiz. Both of those will be in on Monday. So that will, if you completed those 2 pieces for this week, then you'll get the 10 points for participation for week 1. Again, other questions? Questions? You can unmute yourself if you'd like. But if you don't have any questions, you're more than welcome to go. If you want to stay on and talk to me, you want to look at something else, especially again, if you're new, then please stay on and we'll go over stuff. I can show you kind of more about how to log in and what you're looking for in regards to your Google Classroom, or sorry, not Google Classroom, through Edgenuity. Otherwise, I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Email me if you need anything or send me a message on Remind, but I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I miss you all. So again, if you want to stay and ask questions as people are signing off, you're more than welcome. Bye. So I have a couple new. Again, if my news are still on and you want to see any more, you guys are more than welcome to.
Hi, sorry I joined late. I'm new and I was having trouble with the Zoom code.
Okay. Were you able to get it through the email, or were you logging in through your CNUSD account?
I had the wrong password at first. That's why I couldn't get in.
Okay. No worries. Is it, how do you say it? Is it Jada?
Yes, it's Jada.
Okay, so how are you familiar with Edgenuity at all?
I'm not.
Okay, so you're new to the virtual, correct?
Yes, I'm new to the virtual.
Okay, so let me go ahead and let me share my screen with you. Okay, so yours is going to be slightly different than mine because I only show one class. But you're going to see tiles like this. Have you been able to log into Edgenuity yet?
I haven't. It said my account wasn't able to access the Edgenuity.
Huh. Okay, let me double check.